Do you know how to convert this into passive voice? But wait, why do we need a passive voice in a sentence? And how do we convert it? Let's dive in. Hi, you're watching English House 101. It's Alan here. By the way, in this video, the discussion will be limited only to present simple and past simple. Jadi pembahasannya kita batasi hanya pada tenses simple past dan simple present. Untuk materi lain, misalnya seperti future, perfect, continuous, dan modal verbs, akan didiskusikan di video berikutnya. This is why and how we convert an active voice sentence into a passive voice sentence. If you like this kind of video and you want to support me making more videos like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. 1. We focus more on the object, not the subject or the doer. 2. To avoid mentioning the doer. 3. To create more formal tone. Having said that, passive voice is also used a lot in informal English. The bottom line is we use passive voice when we need to focus or emphasize more on the object and the action, not the subject or the doer. Intinya, kita menggunakan passive voice ketika kita ingin menekankan atau fokus pada objek, bukan pada pelaku atau subjeknya. To help you understand the difference, let's compare these two sentences. Number 1, James and Tony moved the chairs last night. Number 2, the chairs were moved last night. In the first sentence, the focus is on James and Tony. Now, what about in the second sentence? What's the sentence about? The chairs. Who moved the chairs? We don't know. Or we might know, but we choose not to mention it. The question is, how do we construct the sentence? What's the formula like? What's the structure like? Well, the formula is quite simple. First, we have the object as the subject, and then we add a be verb, and finally, a past participle or verb 3. For example, we have a sentence, Bob built the house in 1997. Now, we don't want to talk about Bob. Instead, we want to focus more on the object, which is the house. So the sentence becomes, the house was built in 1997. Now, the subject is that house. We use was there because the subject is singular, one house. And we don't use is because it's in the past, 1997. And then we have the verb 3 of the word build. So build, built, built. Now, what about the doer? Well, it's optional. If you think you need it, then you can put it there at the end of the sentence, or you can just delete it if you don't need it. Jadi, sekarang subjeknya adalah that house. Nah, kita menggunakan was di situ karena subjeknya tunggal atau satu. Dan kita tidak menggunakan is karena waktunya lampau, 1997. Setelah itu, kita tambahkan kata kerja bentuk ketiga dari kata build. Jadi, build, built, built. Nah, bagaimana dengan pelakunya atau subjeknya? Nah, itu pilihan. Kita bisa menambahkannya di akhir kalimat, atau kalau kita tidak membutuhkannya, kita tinggal menghapusnya. Now, what if we change the subject from singular to plural? Bagaimana kalau kita rubah subjeknya dari tunggal menjadi jamak? Then we have this sentence. Those houses were built in 1997. You see, now we use were because the subject is plural or more than one. And it's in the past, so we use were. Let me give you another example. The owner repaints the house every year. Becomes the house is repainted every year. So we change the function of the object into subject. And we use is because the subject is singular. And the reason why we use is because it happens not just one time, but every year. That's why we use present be verbs. Am, is, are. Jadi sekali lagi, di sini kita menggunakan is karena subjeknya adalah singular atau satu. Dan kita menggunakan is bukan was karena every year. Artinya ini kejadian yang berulang-ulang. Bukan hanya tahun ini, tahun kemarin, tapi setiap tahun. Now, what if we change the subject that house to those houses? Write your sentence in the comment section. Jangan malu dan jangan takut salah. Remember, the more you practice, the better you get. For more.